It's Monday, June 9th. Tensions erupt in Los Angeles as protesters take to the streets against immigration raids. President Donald Trump has called in the National Guard.
Life-saving measures will apply to both children. Sadly, one child did not survive.
Tragedy on the water. One child is dead. Another has life-threatening injuries after they were hit by a boater while tubing in North Vancouver.
I am Haitian, and so I have family in Haiti, and so it is pretty upsetting to see and hear.
People from 12 countries are now unable to enter the U.S. under a travel ban that's been signed by President Donald Trump. It's now in effect.
What's the other thing? What's that other thing in there? You get a car. I've been waiting all night to do that.
Broadway's biggest night. Cynthia Erivo was the host with the most at the historic 78th Tony Awards. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Hey, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend. I'm Teddy Wilson.
I'm Kelsey McEwen. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed. Let's turn right to the top news stories we're following for you here this morning. We'll begin in Los Angeles. Protesters in that city have been ordered out of the downtown region after yet another day of clashes. Police used flashbangs and tear gas to disperse protesters. 27 people were arrested yesterday on the third straight day of protests. The 101 freeway in LA was closed. Cars were set on fire, and some businesses have reported instances of looting. Protests broke out on Friday in response to immigration raids by ICE officers. U.S. President Donald Trump has authorized the deployment of 2,000 National Guard members against the wishes of California's governor. The LAPD is also unsure.
To say that we would go to that right away, I'd say we wouldn't have been there yet. Looking at the violence tonight, I think we got to make a reassessment.
Responding to that comment from the LAPD chief, President Trump posted online saying, quote, "He should right now. Don't let these thugs get away with this. Make America great again." He adds, looking really bad in LA, bring in the troops. There are said to be 300 National Guard members on the ground. California's governor is threatening to sue the Trump administration over this deployment. An 11-year-old child is dead and another child is in critical condition after being hit by a boat while tubing in North Vancouver over the weekend.
The boat operator of the vessel that struck the inflatable tube is currently in custody as police conduct their investigation.
Emergency crews were called to Cates Park Saturday evening. The two children were being pulled by a boat in a tube when they were hit by the driver of another speedboat. Police believe speed and alcohol may have played a role in this tragedy. The child in critical condition was airlifted to hospital. The suspect is in custody and charges have yet to be laid. And 2 men are dead after a boating accident in Ontario's Kawartha Lakes region Sunday afternoon. It happened on Sturgeon Lake, about 155 kilometers northeast of Toronto. Crews were called to the area around 3 p.m. yesterday after reports of a canoe carrying 3 males had capsized. Police say one of those men was able to make it to shore, but 2 others were unable to remain afloat and succumb to their injuries. There weren't any life jackets on the boat. To Ottawa now, it's given the green light for Canadian Armed Forces members to help evacuate a northwestern Ontario First Nation. This as wildfires spread. In a social media post, Prime Minister Mark Carney said Ottawa has accepted Ontario's urgent request for assistance in and around Sandy Lake First Nation. The military will help with emergency airlift evacuations. Carney met with the minister and other senior officials Sunday to look at the wildfire situation across our country. BC's wildfire service is warning that the Pocket Knife Creek wildfire in the province's northeast has merged with another fire. It's now considered an out-of-control wildfire of note. The Peace River Regional District says the fire poses an immediate danger to life safety. They've also issued an evacuation order for part of the region. To Manitoba now, the province says 2 wildfires that combined are now about 7 times the size of Winnipeg. The fire near Sheridan in northern Manitoba is considered out of control. Overall, the Manitoba Wildfire Service says it's responding to 28 active fires. Tens of thousands of people have been forced from their homes. And officials in Saskatchewan say rain in the north was helpful with firefighting efforts. Active wildfires in that province are now down to 16. As many as 15,000 people were forced out by fires in Saskatchewan. Some of them were able to go home over the weekend. And officials are working on a security plan in case wildfires affects next week's G7 summit in Kananaskis, Alberta. The RCMP says it's planning for all scenarios, including possibly evacuating the summit site. And Prime Minister Mark Carney is expected to lay out his defense and security priorities today. The Prime Minister has announcements scheduled today in Toronto. Defense spending is expected to be a major focus. Canada has promised to raise its spending to meet NATO's 2% target, but that may not be enough for much longer. The United States is now calling on members to spend 5% of their GDP on defense. Signs are pointing to NATO raising its spending target, and NATO leaders will meet later this month. A travel ban order by President Donald Trump against 12 countries is now in effect. Travelers are streaming into airports across the U.S., this shortly after the ban came into place. Some of the people are arriving from countries under a partial ban, including Cuba. Last week, President Trump signed an order and banned people from Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen from entering the United States. There are 7 additional countries under a partial ban. During his first term, President Trump also signed a travel ban targeting people from 7 Muslim-majority countries. To Montreal now. Montreal transit maintenance workers are now on strike, causing widespread disruptions to the morning commute.
I'll just have to work around, the disruptions. So what can you do, right?
So for the first few days of the strike, there will only be bus and metro service during the morning and afternoon rush, as well as late evenings. To help with flexibility, McGill University has moved classes online. However, school boards and centers say there will be no exceptions for exams on strike days. Regular service will resume during Grand Prix weekend from Friday to Sunday. Service will be reduced again after that. The STM and union are expected to meet on Wednesday. Well, as you saw at the top of the show, it was a history-making night at the 78th Annual Tony Awards.
And I want to thank the audiences who have made this play what it is. Thank you for coming. Thank you for feeling joy. This is a thing we can do. We can bring joy to people at the end of a crappy day. And that feels like a big deal to me.
It's a wonderful night and one of the most powerful speeches of the evening from Oh Mary director Sam Pinkelton. That's a show that imagines Abraham Lincoln's wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, as an aspiring cabaret star. The star and creator of that show, Cole Escola, won Best Lead Actor Sunday night, becoming the first non-binary winner of that award. Pulitzer Prize-winning family drama Purpose won Best Play, with Cara Young winning for her part. Best Musical went to the romantic robot musical Maybe Happy Ending. Darian Criss took home the award for Best Leading Actor in a Musical for his performance. And the surprise of the night might have been that George Clooney's Good Night and Good Luck was completely shut out despite massive box office success.